Well, hello. It's been a really long time since I've made a video. I'm testing out a new microphone, so I hope that the audio is okay. I should probably stop moving things around. So hi, welcome back if you've been here before, or hello if you are new. I did take a little break from making videos and I'm back. I've just had a lot going on. It's been Christmas, we've had birthdays, we've had New Year. It's just been a lot going on and I just needed a little bit of slowness. So since my last videos, I've very much got back into art and back into the flow of making art regularly. But I also did go back to work. I felt like I needed something else. I needed that like connectivity with people and do something different. I still had that creative freedom when I came back. I still had that drive. I wanted to create stuff when I was home. And so that's what I did. It was lovely, but then I'm ready to dive back into really exploring my own art and developing my skills. I've been painting canvases, which is totally out of my norm. And I've really been enjoying what I've been doing with the canvases. So I've been really painting landscapes, staying true to the sort of things that I was doing in my sketchbook anyway, but without watercolour and instead using acrylic paint. So I've used acrylic paint and Posca pens to make like abstract art on the side for years. So I had it around. So I've just been developing skills, painting canvases. We went on a little trip recently, my husband and we went and stayed in one of our favourite places. And I did take a canvas, I did take paint, and I felt like I was really drawn. We were only there for 2 days and we were going to have like a really relaxing time. We didn't have any plans. My husband took things to do. I took a canvas and paint with the challenge that if I felt drawn to that I could paint. And I did. And it's really exciting because that first painting holds like a little special place in my heart. That was the first landscape canvas. I painted it in one of my favorite places. We had like food out, we were sitting together just doing two separate activities, and it was so wholesome and so lovely and so needed, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm going to show you that canvas now. So this is the canvas and it's so pretty. I look at it and I can see the place that it was. I can feel it. It's very bright. I have noticed something that this is very different to the canvases that followed it. And I think that makes it special. So I didn't draw the shapes out. I just went in and I just painted it. I'm going to point out some little things. So you've probably seen me have painted this in my sketchbook with watercolour a lot. It's my favourite place, and every time I go we see different things. But this is the view from our favourite lodge. So there's these bodies of water here and here, and there's always like moorhens and ducks and things that come and visit that water. And then this time that we went, we saw an owl. So I've added him in. It was like a little snowy owl, and we could hear him first. And then when we were watching out the window, we saw him, and he was just flying by, just minding his own business. And it was so beautiful. Honestly, it was lovely. We also did see there's normally cows on this hill here. So like through these trees here, you can see the cows walking around. We did see in this little bushy area here, we did see some deer. So there was 2 adult deer and 1 small little baby one, and I thought that was so cute. This green fence has been shown up a lot in other paintings. I've been inspired by the idea of like this fence that can break up a painting. The composition of this one, it could be better, but I just really enjoy this canvas. I really enjoy the way that it looks. I enjoy the memories that are attached to it, and it is really bright colours and colours that I maybe wouldn't have chosen if I was painting with my watercolours. If you've seen, I normally go for like the muted dark muddy kind of greens to start with, and this one I feel is very bright and very happy, but I think that reflects how I was feeling in that moment, and I really love it. I'm really happy that I took the paints and then I took a canvas and allowed time to create something. Going forward, it really changed something in my brain and made me feel like, right, okay, I'm going to look at all the canvases that I have, I'm going to paint them. I didn't realize that I was a bit of a collector of canvases. For not being a canvas painter, underneath the desk that you're standing on right now, lots of canvases. I did actually count them up, and there was 35, and then I found a stash of them somewhere else. So some of them have been painted, some of them were like abstract works, but I wanted to paint over them, and so they were just like stored under there. And I've been painting a lot of them, and I'm really happy. So I thought maybe I'd go through some of the canvases that I have done in this short period of time. So this one was done on the 13th of December. I painted on location. So I have this one hanging up here above my desk so I can see it from where I am over there. It just brings me joy because it has those memories attached to it. Okay, so I will show you some of the other ones. I'm going to put this one back though because I'll probably forget. So the next canvas is actually the biggest one so far, and it is this one, and I am so proud of myself for this one. It is honestly something that I didn't think I'd be able to produce, going from the bright colours of the last one to this, which I would say is a bit more leaning towards the photorealism side of things, which I didn't think was something that I could do, or that maybe I didn't want to do. But the feeling as I was painting it was so relaxed and so lovely. I just played away at it, painted a little bit each day. I think I did it over a 3-day period, and I think it's so beautiful. I also have this one hanging up there above my desk as well, and it just brings me so much joy, and I'm so proud of it. I think going from the last one to this one, it really opened my eyes to, I can do these things. It's all about confidence, just giving yourself the time and just enjoying the process and not worrying about what the final product's going to look like, because then you're always surprised when it turns out good. So yeah, so that was canvas number 2. So I came back from the one that I've just shown you, the bright colours, and then I really had a look and played with the colours. So this went through a lot of colour journeys. This one went from being really bright, then it was really dark, and then it was in between. And I think I learned a lot about light, because when I was trying to figure out why doesn't it look the way I can see it in my head, and then really looking at how the light is hitting it. So having the lighter bits on the top, but then you can add texture all throughout it, just with colour, and adding that lightness and the darkness, having the juxtaposition between the two. I really love this. Like, this will be hung somewhere in my house. I was even thinking of doing prints, but I don't know. I'm just playing with ideas. It's all very exciting. I have done others which are smaller, and I've gone between a mixture of box canvases and canvas panel. So this one is like a single layer canvas, and I enjoy this one because then you get that little continuation on the side where you paint on the front, and then you kind of got to match that and put a bit on the side. So this one sits above my desk, and I love to see it, and I love to see it because it sits right next to the one that I showed earlier, and seeing the difference between the two, the journey between the two, and that what memories are captured within this. I'm very happy with it. So then I'll show you the next ones. So this is the next one, and this is on a really chunky big canvas. So I tried some new acrylic paints with this one, and I tried matte acrylic paints, so it has like a texture, whereas the other ones don't seem to have that same texture. I really enjoy this one. I think the colours are quite dark, and maybe I could have given it a bit more oomph and a bit more light, but I do enjoy this one. This one sits up on this shelf here. I think this one's a bit more illustrative and a bit more creative, but I'm really happy with it, and I think that it brings in some of my watercolor style things. So I've got like these little splashes on the bottom, which I had started to do in my watercolor paintings. It's something that I find is really freeing, so I'll hold like a piece of card over the bits I don't want the splashes on, and just go for it. I water down the acrylic because obviously it's a bit more thick, and I found that with the matte acrylic paint it's a little bit more thick, so adding a bit more water allows you to do the splashes. But I really enjoy that one, and I added in some little white splodges to give the illusion of sheep. But I am really proud of these canvases that seem to have just exploded and come out of nowhere. So this again was in December. So in December I painted 9 canvases, and this is canvas number 3. So canvas number 4 is this one. It is a little bit of a strange one. I'm not sure. I think maybe I used a reference photo and maybe got the perspective wrong, but I enjoyed the process of it, and I think it will survive like this for a little while before I repaint it. There are some elements to it that I really love. So at the top here, there's a little house, and I've added in these little walls. In our English countryside, there's always like these stone walls, and they seem to not be in like straight lines, and I really enjoy that. It's something that I really enjoy taking photos of or drawing in my artwork, and so I thought I'd add them into this painting. I really love the elements that are up here, and I love the colours that are here and how loose it is, but you get the illusion of flowers, and that's something that I've been working hard on, trying to create that level of like looseness, but you can still sort of see what it was intended to be. So this canvas is a mix between the matte and normal acrylic, so some of it has a shine and some of it doesn't. So that was canvas number 4. Number 5 and 6 I'm going to show at the same time. These are 2 canvases that I did enjoy but never finished. I feel like there was something about them that was maybe just too ambitious, but there's things that I love about both of them separately. These were both references that I found from Pinterest just to get a little bit of variation between, you know, just doing the green hills. I wanted to add in some buildings. So I found this one. There's little sheep in the front, a little stone wall, and the house. And it's okay. I love the sort of shapes. I don't know if you can tell that they're sheep. I love this little fence. Something up here is interesting me, but I'm not sure what it is yet. I think I'll maybe repaint over this one, but it might be interesting to try this reference photo again just to see if I could do it better. This one was the same. Wasn't feeling it. I enjoy this part, the colours here, and I enjoy the colours of the water as well. Also, something up here really speaks to me, but the rest, I don't know. There's something about it. I didn't want to really mess with those 2 anymore. I could have possibly been burnt out because I'd just done those other canvases and then came to these ones. That is very possible, but I'm still going to include them because they are still cool. So now I'm on to the last canvases. I'm just taking these little hooks off because I had them hanging up. This is the first one. So again, studying the light and the darkness and really enjoying playing with colour, shadows, textures, lights, things like that. Not finished, but I felt like I was really happy with where it was. I felt like I could have added more to it. I could have pushed it further, but there was a moment where I sat back and I looked at it when it was on the easel and it was dry, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to leave it there. And I'm happy that I did because it captures that looseness. It captures a lot of texture in there, and I feel like I could have possibly ruined it by making it too busy, and I'm happy that I left it where it is. I love this darkness, this shadow here, and I'm finding in each painting that I do, there's like a little section that is just something that brings me the most joy, and I can take that into my next painting, and I'm finding little patterns of things as I go along, and as I'm learning and developing my skill, there's little things that I'm bringing from that last painting into the next one. I think that might be evident with this one. So same color palette, same kinds of paints, starting off with those matte acrylic paints and adding in little bits. This one I'm going to keep working on. So I added in all that texture on the hills, and I think it just needs to be blended in a little bit more. Bringing in that little beach area, which was seen in this canvas. Bringing in that little scene. And I'm just really happy that I'm keep developing those skills and keep trying new things. And then the last one is this little house. This one is really cute. Again, it's another one that I felt like I could have added more detail. When I imagined painting this one, I imagined the trees would be in much more detail. I imagined more texture, more colour. But I think that when I sat back and looked at it, there was something about this one that I just felt like I was happy with the way that it looked. There were some problems with this one. I had Posca pen painting underneath, so I had done like this abstract thing underneath with Posca pen, and when I painted over it, it did seep through. So I think you might be able to see there's like a blue line across here, and that kept coming through and in the sky as well. And so there was a lot of layers to this one, and I think that it adds to the character, and maybe that was why I wanted to just leave it for a little while. I'm happy with the way that it looks. It fits in nicely with the same colour palette that I seem to be reaching for. I'm really happy that I'm just developing this new skill. I'm working on a new painting which currently looks like this, but it's very flat at the moment. This is like very early stages, and I will be developing this one further. I'm really happy that I have paintings like this that I can look at, and I can have them like at my desk and know that I painted them. I'm really happy that I gave myself the opportunity to rest and to try something different, because it let me come back with this oomph of something new. And I feel like that really came from a total reset of, okay, just no expectations, no deadlines, no nothing. And having that creativity just come naturally, and to know that that was something that I'm really passionate about. Also giving myself opportunities, so taking that acrylic paint and taking the canvases with us on our trip, and allowing myself that if we had time, if I felt drawn to it, and not putting, well, I will paint when I get there. Instead, just saying, if I feel drawn to it, if I want to, if there's time, if it feels right, and create a piece of art that I'm really, really happy with, really proud of. And I just can't wait to keep developing these skills and see what I create. I felt compelled to film as well, to show this and document this, for not just for myself, but to share that because someone else might be in a similar situation. But I would definitely recommend, if you feel drawn to a new medium that you've maybe never used, or if you want to create something and you've been thinking about it, don't put pressure on it. Just allow those opportunities. Allow yourself to say, okay, I'll have them in my bag, but I'm not going to use them unless I feel drawn. I feel like that is more useful than sitting down and saying, okay, I'm going to make a painting today, because you're adding pressure where it doesn't need to be. So it's really exciting, and I guess that's just what I wanted to say. I wanted to show those new paintings. I wanted to tell you about my experiences, and that I allowed myself that creative freedom. It's okay to change mediums and come back. I don't know if this is a permanent switch, or if this is like I said earlier, if I would just be painting on canvases with acrylic paint and then painting in my sketchbook with watercolour. I don't know, but it's part of the journey, and I've documented this step, and I'm excited to see what happens going forward. I'm just thankful that I have this creativity boost and this motivation that has come back ready for the new year, and I'm ready to see what other skills I can develop this year. I am determined not to let creativity slip this year. I have a lot going on. It is going to be a busy year. I know that it will be. However, creativity needs to be there when I need it. I want to keep that sense of freedom within my art, and I want to be able to have that as something that I can just come to when it's ready. So having the easel ready, having the paint on the desk has really helped with the canvases that I've done so far. And I'm really excited to go forward with that method of having a canvas, whether it be in progress or empty, ready to go. Just having that there so that when that motivation strikes, I can go. But I think that's all I have to say, and I'll see you in the next video. So thank you for watching. Bye.